everyone, I hope your day is going well, and if not, I hope I can distract you for a bit with this video. Today, we are going to be covering possibly the biggest topic of debate among K-pop stans, and that is, does Big 3 privilege exist? Now, going into this video, we probably all have our own opinions and possibly even a conclusive answer. But for now, we're gonna pretend like we know absolutely nothing, and we're gonna go into this blind to see all the points and analyze them and try to find the final answer objectively. So hopefully next time someone brings this up, you can just slap this video on their face. Bit of context in case you're not completely sure what Big 3 or Big 4 privilege is, since a lot of people seem to misunderstand this since they first encounter it on Stan Twitter. You're never gonna learn anything remotely accurate on Stan Twitter, except how to be a bad bitch. Anyway, Big 3 privilege refers to the Big 3 companies in K-pop, namely SM, JYP, and YG. For a long time, these companies have been the home of the most popular groups and artists. Here are just some from each company. Because of this roster of stars under these companies' belts, they were regarded as untouchable in terms of impact and success. Then Bighit or HYBE bulldozed in and became the Big Fourth. Which, come on, HYBE should be known as the Big One since they've made more money than all three companies combined. Not me bragging as if I did anything. For people that agree that Big 3 privilege exists, these are some points in your favor. It is believed that groups or idols that debut under these huge companies are automatically promised fame and success. This would be because of the fame that the artists before them have acquired. That is, fans of the senior artists would come back to see what else the company has to offer and then might end up becoming fans of the newer artists. Moreover, because of the huge amount of budget that these companies have at their disposal, they are able to afford top quality clothes, artists, songwriters, music video directors, etc. to make sure that each aspect of their artist's comeback or debut is as perfect as it can be. At least they should be paying the artist instead of, just plagiarizing. And smaller companies would have to make the best of what they have, which isn't much. In addition to that, big companies have a lot of pull in the K-pop entertainment industry. While many people might not be aware of it, the entertainment industry, whether it be Korean or American, is largely run by two things: money and connections. We've already established that these companies have the bag secured, but they also have major connections in almost every field, company, and brand. This basically guarantees that any new artist that these companies want to push will be on billboards, ad campaigns, music shows, award shows, events, etc. Meanwhile, smaller companies struggle to get invites or media coverage of any kind. And in almost every case, this is true. K-pop idols and groups that debut under huge companies will be guaranteed popularity, but this debate is a bit more complicated, so now let's look at the other side. Now, for people who believe Big 3 privilege doesn't exist, this one's for you. Knowing the impact that being in a big company can have on you and your career, many people rush to audition and join these companies. And by that, I mean filling online forms, going to in-person auditions, literally doing anything in their power to secure a spot in that company. And with that, you have competition, and a fierce one at that. You would have to be the absolute best or someone with huge potential to make it into huge companies, or, extremely good looking. But for those that don't fit into those categories, it is hard and maybe even impossible. With that, you have other barriers like age, height, weight, nationality, language, etc. to compete with too. But the stress does not end after you enter the company. Yep, that's right. You worked day and night and it paid off and you got into the company, but so did 100 other people. But hey, not every company is debuting in NCT, right? So most of y'all are gonna have to leave. But who? That's right, now you have to work the hardest you've ever worked to impress people that will judge you at monthly or even weekly evaluations. Goodbye social life, hello practice room. It is only after that you are able to pass these thousands of trainees that you are able to even consider getting into a group to debut. And while that doesn't mean that idols in small companies don't have to work hard, it's just that once they get in, they don't have as much competition to defeat. The pressure is slightly lighter, but hey, it's still no cup of tea. So yeah, getting quote Big 3 privilege isn't just as easy as audition, train, and debut. There's a lot of tough aspects that people often ignore or aren't aware of, like the fear of never being able to debut. So now we've seen both sides. You've possibly made your decision or stance on this topic as well, but only one person's opinion matters, and that person is me, because this is my channel.
It was supposed to give, but it did not give what needed to be gave to the highest of giving.
But it is time for me to share my opinion and what I believe is the final answer. A point that needs to be examined further is hard work versus luck. There is a lot of both in both situations, but when you want to debut under a huge company, the main aspect is hard work and not luck. While yes, good luck and genes can get you quite far, your hard work is going to be the biggest part. So if you work hard, really hard, you have a big chance of making it. This is under your control. How much effort you put in most cases, is up to you. But when it comes to groups debuting from smaller companies, sometimes no matter how hard you work, you are never able to get recognition. This is because fame is heavily based on luck. The luck of someone famous or big discovering you and giving your group a huge push. The luck of being able to attract a huge audience, which isn't easy. It needs a special ability, sincerity, and quality to be able to do that. Luck is never under our control. But it's also possible that luck comes easy, like for idols who get scouted for basically just walking or existing and then being able to enter huge companies. But also, they need to work hard to be able to debut still. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of truth and substance to both sides of the argument, but the true answer is that Big 3 privilege does exist, but is also hard to attain. I think people confuse Big 3 privilege as the entire process of getting into the company, auditioning, etc., when the actual insinuation is just what happens post-debut. Most who bring up the Big 3 privilege don't bring up the training period, because it is assumed that these trainees haven't acquired the Big 3 privilege yet. However, they are on their way. So Big 3 privilege is basically the immediate fame you are guaranteed just because of the company you are attached to. It is being able to land major designer brand deals as rookies. It also means managing to stay relevant even after not having a comeback for several months. It means having hundreds of fan pages dedicated to you before you even debut. But it also means all eyes on you, and we all know that can be just as bad as it is good. So, while Big 3 privilege is an aspect of these idols' lives, it is not their entire identity or a mark of their entire career. It is merely a way to categorize the ease they have in attaining fame, deals, fans, invites, etc. post-debut. It does not mean that their life is way easier. These idols still work day and night and train hard to put out good music and stages, and they still battle self-doubt just like any of us, and they're hated on and criticized for every tiny mistake. On the other hand, idols from smaller companies long to finally have anyone give them a chance to be recognized, loved, and praised, but often these groups struggle to stay active due to financial issues. With little to no income coming in, these groups run out of resources to fund comebacks and have to either take part-time jobs while training day and night, or else step away from their dreams that they've invested so much time and effort in. And it's not that they're not talented. Like I said, fame relies a lot on luck. Maybe if they were given stages, costumes, and other such resources that Big 3 groups never have to worry about, maybe their luck would turn. However, that is not the case for hundreds of nameless K-pop groups and idols that fade away from the spotlight and get regular jobs, all the while dreaming, what if? That is all for this video, everyone. Please like and subscribe to show your support as I make a lot of videos on such topics, and I'm planning some very interesting content coming soon. Hopefully this answered some of your questions and can maybe settle this long-ass debate that's been going on in the K-pop community since forever. Neither side is completely wrong or completely right, which is what makes this topic so intriguing to talk about. I understand that there may be some of you who still don't agree with my final statement. And that's fine. There's no reason or way that my one video would ever be able to end such a huge debate. So comment below your rebuttal, respectfully, and I'd love to hear you out. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.